Greetings, minions, survivalists, and fellow gamers. This is Silverblade playing 7 Days to Die, Alpha 16.4, and this is episode number 108. Bada bing, and we're picking up right where we left off from the previous episode. And we're just gonna, well, actually, I probably shouldn't be putting these in right yet. I do got to get these up. I need to also check, make sure that there's some concrete mix or cement. I always get the two mixed around, but you guys know what I mean. So we can get at least a 2-layer wall set up around the base. Alright, so that's going to take a little bit. We'll see if we can manage to get that much done. Alright, so we need to get some walls up around here. Just too high. Not there. There. Because I want to keep the zombies out. It won't keep out the spider zombies who can climb walls. But the regular zombies should keep them at bay. Because I want to keep them away from the core of the base. Unless they're in the kill chute. But unfortunately I won't be able to have the kill chute powered up for this particular Horde Night. One, I don't have enough of the electric fences. And I also don't believe I have enough solar cells or batteries to really keep it running. And also just no time to muddle with this. So my best option is really to just get static defenses in place and deal with them the old-fashioned way. Ah, crap. Oh well. Yeah, that's gonna bother me. And I just screwed it. There we go. Some of you guys be wondering, what the hell am I doing? And I'm gonna tell you this. OCD is no joke. If you're not down with OCD, you can't get down with me. I'm too damn white to say shit like that. Okay, so that's one layer, and I feel I need more. Give me more. What we can do some grass punch and get this cleared out a little bit from the edges of the base. 2 or 3 blocks width should be good. Keeps you from having to deal with it later. And it does build up the athletic skill too, so no harm, no foul with that. And I should have done this like all along and off camera, so excuse me while I get punchy. I don't think I'll have to worry about it so much on the other side. I think most of the base on that side is on asphalt. Let me check to make sure though. Okay, so one of the corners isn't. Not a problem. I find that when you're trying to get rid of grass and you're punching like this, usually is best to get down low like this and do it, because you can actually get at the right angle for it instead of punching over or under. And if you're in, you might not be able to see it, but it's kind of like in straight rows. And so you can just kind of move in one direction and just keep punching, and you'll more often than not get it. If you attack the grass at a certain angle, though, you'll end up hitting the ground. It's just the way the hitboxes are set up are kind of funky. So, unfortunately, there's an example of getting funky. Unfortunately, Taser Base will not be up to Zap the Zombs on this night, but there's always the day 28 Horde, and we have plenty of days to prepare for that. Day 22 is when the traders will update. And so hopefully more solar cells, hopefully more don't need any more solar panels, I don't think. Well, we need one more solar panel, solar frame or whatever it's called. Solar bank, I think is what it's called. I want to make sure of that because, yeah, solar bank. So I need one more solar bank. Thought I saw a zombie out there. One more solar bank, get it plugged into the battery bank. I'm going to need at least one more solar cell. These are pretty low end, except for that one. That's actually pretty good. But once we get that extra bank, get the cell, if not more cells, then we can really start working on getting the whole Taser Base thing up and running. Okay. So far, so good there. Gonna need more stone. So I guess that means we're gonna go rock picking again. Actually, just dump that off. Now, like I said in yesterday's episode, correction, Monday's episode, I'm just gonna be wearing out all my iron tools and then phasing into steel tools. I'm also gonna need some more wood. And let's see, why not? And pack that away for the moment, because we need to get some more stone. Need a lot of stone, so I'm just gonna come out this way. Haven't really done a whole lot of rock picking out this way, really. Might have to get some wood too, so it's out here. But looky, looky. And we'll just take this whole lump down, kind of top down, and try to get the most stone that we can while using iron tools. I believe Callus had mentioned that you actually get more more stone and all that with steel tools. And the more that you harvest, the quicker your skill goes up for mining. My mining skill is actually pretty high. I think it's in the mid 70s, which ain't too bad. But it can always, you know, I want to get up to 100 on all those kind of skills. So as soon as I wear out all my iron tools, I'm going to switch to steel, and it should be boosting up the harvest rate as well as the skill level. So Callus mentioned that to me. I'm passing it on to everybody else. Mining tool 77. See, I imagine if I had a 400 quality steel pick, it'd probably only take me maybe 2 or 3 whacks with it to break a stone up, so it might be quicker. Man, I might harvest more too, so, you know, there's that. Takes forever to take these down from top bottom. If you just bottom out the whole thing, you can clear a lot of land, but you'll also lose some of the stone and raw iron by just making the top collapse down on a void underneath. Now, I really want to do a quick loot run, but today is Wednesday. Well, for me it's Sunday, but for you guys watching this episode airs on Wednesday. So I got 2 days left besides this, and we got a horde night. So I'm thinking Friday will be the horde night, but I gotta do one more episode between now and then. And I do have some time left. It's only 15:39. Probably best to not, and just make sure I have all the resources together. So that's one of the things I always have to weigh is, you know, what is the best use of my time in preparation for a whole lot of nasty coming down. Now, Pamela had mentioned, you know, she's not good with defenses. Well, not everybody is, but the thing is, you know, the way to be better, if not good, at creating defenses is ask yourself this question: how do I break into this structure, this building? Okay, once you ask yourself that, then say, okay, if I was to break into this structure at these weak points, well, obviously they're weak points, so you reinforce them, you make them strong. You know, you also kind of have to think like a zombie, at least for this game, and figure, okay, well, they're going to go for doorways, first and foremost. So you can use that to your advantage. Oops. You know, like use doorways to lure in zombies to where you want them. Because one of Sun Tzu's teachings is this: it's better to have, you know, you get to choose the place where you battle rather than have your enemy do it. In this case, the zombies are the enemy, and I prefer to have them fight on my terms, where I want them, when I want them. So you kind of have to put that into perspective when you're making a base too. Is, you know, where do you want the zombies to come, and then also look at the factors of where are they likely to come from that is not the way you want them to come, and plan accordingly. Sounds complicated, but you know, you do it enough, you get kind of like a built-in sense of how it works. And I've read Sun Tzu's Art of War many times over. I've watched the History Channel documentary about it, which makes it a lot easier to digest. And also, the documentary also puts it into a historical context in terms of like the D-Day landings in Normandy, based off of Sun Tzu's principles from the Art of War, and how it worked to Eisenhower's benefit, as well as the soldiers' benefit too. And in that case is the concept of death ground. You put your soldiers in a place where they have no choice but to fight or die, and they will fight like the devil to stay alive. And that's what happened on D-Day. They fought like the devil to storm the beaches and take over the Atlantic Wall and to the other side. They had no choice. They had to. Otherwise it would have been Gallipoli all over again. Yay, money. Now, the thing about video games, particularly when you're dealing with an AI enemy, is they don't tend to be extremely bright. Now, you have the computer you're fighting against, and the computer can do things to give you a bad day. You know? So you just gotta know what the computer's capable of and work around it, or work with it. And I am by no means an expert at strategy. I'm good at strategy, but I'm not an expert. And because of my propensity for overthinking things, I tend to be my own worst enemy. Got him. Hey, this place is respawn. Nice. But I'm telling you, if you study Sun Tzu's Art of War, it can apply to so many more things than just video games. You know, corporate executives study it and can apply it to businesses and business practices and dealing with rival companies and like. President Trump even has read it, and it's one of his most read and favorite books, actually, is Sun Tzu's Art of War. The Art of War was a big book to some of the generals during the Civil War. You know, Gettysburg being an example of how ignoring Sun Tzu's teachings was a detriment to the South when they were attacking the Union at Gettysburg. You know, generally just, he knew better, but he didn't. And I can't remember the name of his general that was like, but General Lee, you know the teachings, why aren't you listening? And that's why, a good deal of why the South lost at Gettysburg. Again, you know, it plays throughout World War II. And it wasn't just Normandy. One of the things that screwed Hitler over was that he made things way too complicated for his generals to command the armies. You know, you had contention between the guys running the SS and contention with the Navy, and contention with just the regular German army. You know, the ones who weren't really Nazis, they were just German soldiers. You know, their generals were at odds with Hitler's Nazi generals. It's a whole bit of party versus the soldier type thing. But so, you know, that played a factor in the Germans' defeat. What's another one? There's other examples in World War II that just don't come immediately to mind. When it comes to Vietnam, Westmoreland followed a chess strategy, whereas the Vietnamese general, I can't recall his name right offhand, he followed a Go strategy. So if you've ever played the game of Go, you know that it's actually a smarter game than chess in many ways, and that's part of why the Viet Cong won. That, and also politicians like to get their fingers in the pie too much. They don't let the generals do their job. Even though the Westmoreland was a good guy, too rigid thinking in his strategy, I think. At least that's my opinion. Oh, that's trade bait. And then that. Let's get a snack. But yeah, all throughout history, the art of war has been invaluable in leading great men to victory and a multitude of battles. But it also has some real-world, practical application to non-war related things. And if you can learn it, learn the principles, translate it into what you are intending to do, like a video game, more often than not, it'll work in your favor. Alright, we got a bunch of spikes we can lay out. So let's get to that. I don't know about you guys, but I just love war philosophy, and that's kind of what the art of war is the philosophy of war, the means of victory, the ability to use the least amount of resources for the maximum amount of gain. And that's essentially how the game of Go is played, is use the least amount of resources to win. Whereas with chess, which is why Westmoreland didn't really have the right mindset for that particular kind of battle situation. Chess is a war of attrition. You are consistently removing pieces off the board till you have very little left, and then you claim victory. Whereas with Go, you keep adding things to the board. I don't know if that translates well to what I'm talking about, but it's very interesting to me anyway. And there's other kinds of war philosophy. Trying to think of names right offhand. I keep wanting to say Clausewitz, which I haven't read, but if I ever get my hands on the book, the books that these war philosophers and all have written over the millennia, definitely would be reading them. again, it sounds a little extravagant, but if you translate it right, it all does play into video games quite well, especially war games. You know, if you play Civilizations or StarCraft 2 or Warcraft 1 and 2 and 3, any games like that, you can kind of translate those kind of war philosophies into, and yeah, it can improve your gameplay. And then when it comes to like PvP games, one of the first things from Sun Tzu is all warfare is deception. If your opponent thinks you're over here, be over there. You know, another one is attack your opponent where he is weak, not where he is strong. It's just common sense shit, really. But you know, I imagine back when Sun Tzu existed, if there was actually a guy named Sun Tzu and it wasn't like a collection of war philosophies from a multitude of generals from that period anyway, forgot where I was going with that, but anywho, you guys get the point, I'm sure. And some of you guys probably know the stuff better than I do. And I want to reinforce this corner because the last two Horde Knights, they have been coming from pretty much this direction. And also, when I dig the taser trench, as I'm calling it now, I'm going to need this widened out anyway. I'm also going to have to go down a level too, so there is that. Ow. And once you know it, I build it up strong here, and the game knows Sun Tzu, and ends up sending the zombies to where I am the weakest. Would serve me right, that's for certain. Talk up war philosophy and all this shit, and the game beats me at something that I just got done talking about. Okay. So what I'm thinking, and it's 18:30, and we're near the end of this episode. I think what the next episode will be is a Horde Night, and I will spend the rest of this time, because it's not going to be long enough time for a full episode. There really won't be much to see, but I'll be making ammo, make sure my weapons are loaded, and I'm carrying an appropriate amount of ammo, and we'll just start the next episode doing the Horde Night. I'm almost out of the spikes anyway. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to end up doing. That's just weird. I gotta make sure. Ah, yes, I know what I need to do. I need to put a block, like right here at each of these corners, so I can fight them off if they get near the wall and out of the sight range of my guns. Shouldn't be a problem over here, but over here, yeah. That first wave is going to be the first couple waves is going to be the true test of that. So anyways, yeah, we're at the 30-minute mark. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do check out the links in the description box below. Please do so. Next episode's Horde Night. Ready for it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later. Twitch, Twitch.